The Gita, Part 1, delivered in San Francisco on May 26, 1900. To understand the Gita requires its historical background. The Gita is a commentary of the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the Bible of India. They occupy the same place as the New Testament does. There are more than 100 books comprising the Upanishads, some very small and some big, each a separate treatise. The Upanishads do not reveal the life of any teacher but simply teach principles. They are, as it were, shorthand notes taken down of discussion in learned assemblies, generally in the courts of kings. The word Upanishad may mean sittings or sitting near a teacher. Those of you who may have studied some of the Upanishads can understand how they are condensed shorthand sketches. After long discussions had been held, they were taken down, possibly from memory. The difficulty is that you get very little of the background. Only the luminous points are mentioned there. The origin of ancient Sanskrit is 5000 BC. The Upanishads are at least 2000 years before that. Nobody knows exactly how old they are. The Gita takes the ideas of the Upanishads and, in some cases, the very words. They are strung together with the idea of bringing out in a compact, condensed, and systematic form the whole subject the Upanishads deal with. The original scriptures of the Hindus are called the Vedas. They were so vast, the mass of writings, that if the texts alone were brought here, this room would not contain them. Many of them are lost. They were divided into branches, and each branch put into the head of certain priests and kept alive by memory. Such men still exist. They will repeat book after book of the Vedas without missing a single intonation. The larger portion of the Vedas has disappeared. The small portion left makes a whole library by itself. The oldest of these contains the hymns of the Rig Veda. It is the aim of the modern scholar to restore the sequence of the Vedic compositions. The old Orthodox idea is quite different, as your Orthodox idea of the Bible is quite different from the modern scholars. The Vedas are divided into two portions, one the Upanishads, the philosophical portion, and the other the work portion. We will try to give a little idea of the work portion. It consists of rituals and hymns, various hymns addressed to various gods. The ritual portion is composed of ceremonies, some of them very elaborate. A great many priests are required. The priestly function became a science by itself owing to the elaboration of the ceremonials. Gradually, the popular idea of veneration grew round these hymns and rituals. The gods disappeared, and in their place were left the rituals. That was the curious development in India. The Orthodox Hindu, the Mimamsaka, does not believe in gods. The unorthodox believe in them. If you ask the Orthodox Hindu what the meaning is of these gods in the Vedas, he will not be able to give any satisfactory answer. The priests sing these hymns and pour libations and offerings onto the fire. When you ask the unorthodox Hindu the meaning of this, he says that words have the power to pronounce certain effects. That is all. There is all the natural and supernatural power that ever existed. The Vedas are simply words that have the mystical power to produce effects if the sound intonation is right. If one sound is wrong, it will not do. Each one must be perfect. Thus, what in other religions is called prayer disappeared and the Vedas became the gods. So you see the tremendous importance that was attached to the words of the Vedas. These are the eternal words out of which the whole universe has been produced. There cannot be any thought without the word. Thus, whatever there is in this world is the manifestation of thought, and thought can only manifest itself through words. This mass of words by which the unmanifested thought became manifest, that is what is meant by the Vedas. This mass of words by which the unmanifested thought becomes manifest, that is meant by the Vedas. It follows that the external existence of everything depends on the Vedas, for thought does not exist without the word. If the word horse did not exist, none could think of a horse. So, there must be an intimate relation between thought, word, and the external object. What are these words in reality? The Vedas. They do not call it Sanskrit language at all. It is Vedic language, a divine language, Sanskrit in a degenerate form. So are all other languages. There is no language older than Vedic. You may ask who wrote the Vedas? They were not written. The words are the Vedas. A word is Veda if I pronounce it rightly. Then it will immediately produce the desired effect. This mass of Vedas externally exists, and all the world is the manifestation of this mass of words. Then, when the cycle ends, all this manifestation of energy becomes finer and finer, becomes only words, then thought. In the next cycle, first the thought changes into words, and then out of the words, the whole universe is produced. If there is something here that is not in the Vedas, that is your delusion, it does not exist.